Hello everyone, this is Hart Pickers. This is Ronnie coming to you just with a quick, well, it's probably not going to be quick, but a sales update video for November. See how it goes. I've tried making this video a few times over the last month. It just seems like I keep having computer issues, either with my voice not coming up or the sound being all jacked up. But hopefully it's going to be working well with this here. Um, See how it goes. It's been cold, so I haven't been making any videos. It's freezing. Hey Google, what's the temperature?
In Barnstable right now, it's 15 degrees.
Yeah, it's cold. It's cold. We were down on Orlando. It was really nice for a few weeks back last month. Came back, just getting ready for Christmas, getting sales, so on and so forth. So, with that being said, sounds fair and good. We'll get into some video here and show you some things we sold. A lot of the items we sold were actually from estate sale. We went to a estate sale over 4 days. Gretchen went there when it first opened. I came about a few hours later, and then we went back a few weeks later. They were open for 2 more days, and it was weird how much stuff we kept on pulling out. It was like the never-ending sale. I mean, it was crazy. And we missed a few things too. Like one of the days, Gretchen missed a manual for a Bentley, and they're good money. Car manuals can be good money, not for everything. Get a Ford Taurus, probably somebody doesn't give two shits. But get into a screen share here and show you some of the stuff we've sold. All right, here we go, talking about car manuals. These were owner manuals for 2012 Camry we had. We got this car back in 2012. It was brand new. Came with the owner manuals. We never looked at these things. They stood in, I took them out of the car, I think, and put them in a drawer with the rest of the paperwork I got from the dealer for financing and all that kind of stuff. And going through the drawer one day, I just seen them and it was like, these got to be worth something. I sold ones from my Expedition earlier in the year and sold really well, depending on what car you are, what car you have, the condition. These can go anywhere. Big money, small money, but if you're into them for cheap, you know, somewhat different cars. Camry's a very popular car, but if you probably put up like a Ford Taurus or something, it probably wouldn't be that same. A Chevy Malibu or something like that. I don't know. But with that being said, we're on to the next item. And of course, this is a Christmas ornament. Try to get this right here. And we picked up these. There was two of them we picked up the same day. Paid $4 or $5 for them each at the Salvation Army. One took about 2 weeks to sell. One took about 4 weeks to sell. This was the first one. This sold in about 2 weeks. It was a 64.5 convertible Mustang, and just a glass Mustang. See from the pictures here. This one had the box, just white Mustang. I think my uncle has a Mustang. I'm not sure what the year. I know it's in the 60s. But really cool. I mean, someone that has this car or something or a similar year, early mid 60s Mustang, they'll like it. So, like I said, this time of year, this was a good pickup. I don't know if I would have picked this up in the spring. I might have just left it there. Here is a Brooks Brothers. This is wool and camel hair blend, like driving cap, made in Italy. I was into this for about $5. This sold for $40. Really nice looking hat if that's your thing. Not really my thing. This is hair right there. Brooks Brothers has that little logo of the whatever it is, the sheep or lamb or whatever it is. But wool and camel hair, made in Italy, all good selling points. This sold probably within 2 months or so. Here was the other model we picked up. 1956 Ford Thunderbird. And same thing. Had a box, not the original box. Actually, that was for a Mustang again. Same company made both of these. There's the ornament. Really good condition. Somebody that has one of these or maybe wants one of these. It's a nice, cool ornament. I mean, these seem to retail for about $100 maybe. I'm not sure if they still made them today. I did a quick search when I found them. And that's it. I looked them up real quick, seeing that the Mustang one was selling. I couldn't find the Thunderbird, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna take a chance. Coming into Christmas, he's gonna sell. Like I said, we paid about $4 or $5 for this, and this was. You'll see my handling time is all out of the place on some of these due to being on vacation. Bicycle jerseys, I'll pick these up from time to time. This is Specialized. Specialized makes great bikes. Mountain Dew, and stuff. I think it was a full zip. Just really decent looking bicycle shirt. Paid $3 for this, and this sold probably in about a 2-month range for 35. I took a best offer. Another $4 for shipping. We charge shipping on almost everything. No free shipping over here. Just the way we roll. I don't really believe in free shipping. Nobody's getting it for free. And the comical thing is everybody be like, yo, I added the shipping into the price, but then they try to ship it the cheapest way possible. And I'm seeing more and more people get iffy feedback for that kind of stuff. They'll try to ship a jacket like this in a padded flat rate envelope, and people don't like it. And it's just the thing. I'd rather put this in a regional A box or a bigger box if I had to, even put it in a medium flat rate, but I'm charging for shipping. I mean, I don't get that part. I just got something the other day, and it was in a padded flat rate, and the button was cracked, and the buyer goes to me, well, I don't know what to tell you, that it was free shipping. Like, that's not that's not a good explanation about buying something. But this was just a regular plaid here, like really crazy plaid jacket, sport coat. Nothing's very crazy. Grant Thomas is not really a great brand at all, but the pattern on this one kind of sold it. I was into this on a half off day at the Salvation Army. I probably paid, I know I paid $2.50 or $3. It wasn't really priced that high. I don't know if I would have paid. I maybe would have paid 5 or 6 for it, just due to the design. It's more over the top, more different, more unique kind of thing. Somebody's gonna want this. I sold this best offer of $40.01, plus they paid $9.99 to ship it, so it was $50 total at the end of the day. A few of these things I took best offer, but most of them sold at the price that was given. I tried best offer for a little bit and I hated it. This is a item I messed up when I did the listing. I got this at a estate sale. This was part of the estate sale I went back to. I got this actually the last day of the estate sale. I got 3 sets of suspenders for $2 total. So they were about 66 cents each. This was a $1 one. But you can see right here, the print is of $1 bill, of course, and it's George Washington, not Benjamin Franklin. And, it's money, of course, but suspenders. I've never sold a pair of suspenders. So this is something I'm going to look for a little bit more when I go into a store. These were made by Cole Haan. We all know those for making shoes. I think they make some clothing now. But here they are, really nice pair. Cole Haan, made in USA. Really nice quality. I mean, I would suppose these are probably 15, 20 years old. These were not recent. There's our friend George Washington, who I mislabeled. These still sold fairly quickly. These sold in about 2 weeks or so, and sold $50 shipped. I mean, $50 plus shipping, $4. So I was happy. I can't beat that. 66 cents and the $50. Right here was another item we picked up from that estate sale. We don't pick up a lot of Ralph Lauren stuff, but it has to be unique, has to be different, has to be something different, something that catches people eye. Ralph Lauren has a lot of people that will buy that stuff, but you have to break away from the regular stuff that there's 10,000 pieces of. This is a vintage, probably 90s, could be even 80s, but just sweater. It wasn't nothing crazy other than it does have that nice shoulder patch and does have elbow patches. It does have this like I don't know what you want to call it, wood wrap button, wood button, leather wrap button. I don't remember. I'm not there to look at it right now at the moment. Has the elbow patches. There's the tag right there, Polo Ralph Lauren. It's wool, size 42, made Hong Kong. So this we picked up for about $4, somewhere in there. We sold it $40. It actually had one of the like inspection little stickers on the inside. So it was really never worn, I don't think. But you know, it's 20 years old probably. You can't really just said looks not to be worn, got positive feedback, they were happy. And that actually sold twice, first to a non-paying bidder. So this is a vintage Boston College medium champion reverse weave. This kind of reverse weave champion stuff is really hot right now. Probably a year ago, you could not get rid of this stuff to save your life. And we always talk about this ebbs and flows in brands. Some brands are hot, some brands run cold. Brands from 5 years ago are nothing, and so on and so forth. Brands pop up out the roof and all of a sudden become hot. So you have to kind of chase it. You always have to be learning if you're a clothing seller. I've come across quite a few of these champion reverse weave pieces over the last 6 months or so. Probably come across one a month maybe, and they sell fast. This was nice. I mean, Boston College had a decent college on it. People go to college there. That heather gray, people love that gray. The logo and everything is in pretty clean condition. Had a lot of things going for it. There's a reverse weave tag right there, Champion Made USA. This is 90s. When I was a kid, not a kid, probably high school, this was big. I remember people, rocking the Champion. I had Champion clothing. We actually used to go in, when we lived on Long Island, we used to go upstate, and they had in Sydney, New York, there was a big, huge Champion outlet, and we used to get jerseys and sweatshirts and stuff like that. But yeah, this sold $50. I was into this for $4 at a Salvation Army, so good flip. And this sold fairly quickly, within about 2 weeks or so. This is another item I picked up at a estate sale. I picked up 4 garment bags, and I didn't know what they were priced. I asked the lady, and she said, "You know what? Give me $1 for the bags." So I wound up picking the 4 garment bags up for $1. 40 into them for $0.25 or so. This is a Brioni garment bag. Brioni, if you know, is a great brand name. It's like a traveling garment bag is what it is. It was made of like this just like cloth material, almost like I don't know how to explain it. I'm losing the word right now, but this sold $60, $4 to ship, easy peasy. Can't argue with that kind of profit. 25 cents into 60 real quick. This sold within a month, probably a little bit less. Another pair of suspenders that we picked up from that same estate sale. This is a pair of Trafalgar, not to be confused with the character in One Piece that I learned from my wife, actually told me. But don't watch the show. She does. Hunting dog and peasant design. Paid 66 cents for these. Like I said, there's the tag, Trafalgar. And so a little dog, little pheasants, little hunting style going on right there. And these sold $70. Some of these can go for even more money. Just depends on when you're searching on eBay. When I searched this one and another pair I found, There was quite a few other pairs on there, so I didn't really price too high. But I did price probably in the middle, and they sold fairly quickly. And here was the other one right here. This is a football, same thing, Trafalgar. This one had a football print to it. And really nice set of thing. Here's an old car right here. Look like they're at the game, and football like Penn State versus Ohio State here. Just really nice set of suspenders. I mean, you don't really see younger people wear suspenders. It's more older purpose or older people thing. They're really cool. I didn't know anything about this brand till I remember a few years back. Many of you maybe remember, maybe not, from Pickers Church days. Square Deal guy, he came across a set of these and they sold for big money. I remembered it. It got locked away in the brain, and when I seen them, I knew they were money, and I was happy. You know, I messaged them right up. Hey, guess what I found? Same estate sale. Gretchen picked these up. We picked up some Nintendo games. They were $5 for the games. These games were like mint condition. The boxes look like they were never used. There's the manual. Had the styrofoam, the cover thing there. It's really clean condition. The box. I mean, that box looks perfect. We always take pictures of the game. If we have different systems, we always take pictures of the game being tested, especially if we're going to try to get good money for it. You know, there's our homeboy right there. Who is that? Flash Joe, whatever his name was. But really good. These games were in excellent condition, no issues. It took about a month to sell, but we got pretty good price for it, $70 plus $6 to ship. But that actually went to the global shipping program. Here we go, Brooks Brothers. This is a vintage silk short collar, formal tuxedo style vest. This is probably 60s, could be 50s, but I'm guessing 60s from what I've sold in the past and what I've looked up in the past. Brooks Brothers has been a brand that's been around forever. Like it says, established 1818. So I mean, around since like Abraham Lincoln was a kid. I mean, it's been around. It's a brand. I think Abraham Lincoln wore Brooks Brothers, if I remember right. But it's a brand that's been around a while. People love it, and it's a great brand. People collect it. People will look for it. Same thing with Ralph Lauren. Same thing with Tommy Hilfiger. Some of the older stuff, people will wear it and look for it. So it's really interesting. But hey, I paid $10 at a Goodwill for this. It was in their boutique section, and it popped out $70. Took about 2 or 3 months to sell. Here we go right here. This is a Brooks Brothers, once again, going back to a vintage item. The jacket, it's kind of, you look at it and you go, whoa, that's different. That is different. And it's kind of like this, it's like a vintage, like, rowing style or boating style. You would see somebody maybe go out on a weekend with the yacht with this, or on a boat, maybe, you know, it was made of cotton or so on and so forth. Really nice. When you get up close, it was really nice. Had mother of pearl buttons, red, white, and blue. I mean, patriotic. Wear this on the 4th of July. You know, just something. It stands out. Older Brooks bag tag. This is probably 60s or 70s, and just a really nice piece. Picked this up at a Savers. It was $4. There's a size tag right there and everything. And this took a little while to sell. It took probably 2 or 3 months to sell. This always had a lot of watchers, and I think I had it like $99. I lowered the price a little bit, and it popped. It sold. So good to go. Happy. You know, look for the different stuff. It's what sells. Always sell these kind of pants. These are these heavy wool, usually wool and nylon combination, usually 85-15. You can also put that in the title, 85-15. People will look for that. These are just hunting pants. These are from LL Bean. They have that Adirondack pattern, which is gray on red check. See right there, really nice set of looking heavy wool pants. and nylon. They look like they were never really worn. You can see that tag. That tag looks really nice and crispy. These were probably, I'm guessing from that mark right there, these were probably outlet or donated from the brand. But these sold best offer. I think they sold for $75. Other brands to look out for. You always want to look out for LL Bean, Woolrich, Orvis, in these heavy wool pants. What's the other? Pendleton makes some. Johnson Woven Mills. You know, there's a bunch of different brands. I've sold brands that didn't even have anything behind it because they're these heavy wool pants. People will pick these up for hunting. They almost always go, for me, I almost always sell these to New England area. Even though I'm in New England, more up New England, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, these almost always sell and go there. So people, there's a demand for them, you know, and they sell. Right here, we found 9 of these shirts. We sold some of them last month. We sold 2 more, the last two for $99. These all went to 3 buyers combined. I think the first buyer bought 2 for $115, and then one buyer bought 5 for $75, and then we sold 2 for $99 each. So really great Sullivan Row brand. It's a brand out of England. Sullivan Row is an area in England, or London, I should say. They make probably the most quality suits outside of maybe Italy, Milan, or something like that. Just really high-end quality, made to order, tailored stuff for the most part. I think some of the shops now have had little areas where they might sell some stuff already pre-made, but you know, really nice. Trying to get the tag here. Henry Poole and Company, great brand. Like I said, I picked up 9 of these shirts. I was happy. I had no idea how to price them because I couldn't find any shirts that sold by this brand. So I kind of priced them high, and you know, people wanted them. So it was a good thing. I don't think I could have got any more for them. It did help that they were between a 17.5 and an 18.5 neck, which puts them at like an extra large to a two extra large. It was really weird because you could tell they all came from the same person, but what's up with the different neck sizes? Were they bought over the different times or so on and so forth? Really odd and a little bit in that situation. But Henry Poole and Company, you find this brand. This is a great brand to buy. There's the tag right there. This is going to be a brand you're not going to find too many pieces of. It's going to be it took me 5 years to find this brand, 6 years. So just keep that in mind, but it's out there. Here we go with another item. Gretchen found this, like I said, at that estate sale. She picked up this, and she also picked a new in-box, not new in-box, sorry, in-box Nintendo N60, Nintendo NES system that actually sold during Dwayne's Mothership Products auction show. But this was Zelda 2, Legend of the Link. See right here, once again, I mean, these games, people collect these. So if you have a box that's mint condition and a game and everything, this was actually even missing the manual, but it had everything else. And you can see from these pictures, this game and this box was pretty much nearly perfect. You know, once again, take a picture of the thing. Listen, we have one of these old TVs kicking around. Just really nice cartridge and everything like that. Paid $5. It sold for $100. This went to the global shipping program also. Here we go. We picked this up at that estate sale too. Like I said, we picked up probably 40 or 50 pieces. I'll probably be selling pieces out of this. I just sold this something the other day out of this estate sale. And I'll be selling stuff out of this estate sale probably for the next 3-4 months. I mean, we picked up probably every bit of 40 or 50, probably 50 pieces. We picked up 2 pair of Loro Piana slippers. These were leather and corduroy. And the lady told us $2. There was no price on slippers. She could have probably charged us shoes, but you know, we made an emphasis that they were slippers, and She said, how about $2? Gonna take two. We sold the other pair for 75 or so. These were up. So right here, nothing special. There's the Loro Piana tag. Loro Piana is a great brand. These were probably retail somewhere around $500-600 in overall 450, 500, I would say. And these sold good money. Loro Piana, $100, $6 to ship. Can't complain. This is a Adidas track jacket that was actually designed with a collaboration they did with Rita Ora. Not too familiar with Rita Ora. I actually remember looking it up. I thought she was Rihanna, basically. Thought they were one and the same. But this was her collaboration thingy they did, and had like a mesh over, and had like this print on the other side of the jacket. It said Rita Ora on the tag. Some women's, and just a really unique looking jacket. Paid about $6 for it, and it's sold. Took a best offer on this. I believe it sold for right around $85 plus another 8 to ship. And we had this a little while. We had this probably pick this up over the summer. So you're probably looking at 4, 5, 6 months to sell. But hey, it did sell. Just had to wait for the right person to pick it up. Not everything is gonna sell fast. Some things do. What are you gonna do? This is a tundra sweater. I found 2 of these over the summer at our Goodwill, and I thought when I went down the aisle, I thought they were going to be Coogie's Tundra. Thing is, Tundra will still sell well. Tundra is another brand. They make these style Cosby, whatever you want to call them, kind of sweaters, colorful, hip hoppy, 90s hip hop era sweaters. Really nice, colorful. There's the Tundra tag. They're made in Canada, 2 extra large. So I mean, certain things pop off on this. The colors of this make this good. It's a decent brand, and the 2XL sells that sweater. I waited out. I priced these high. I sold both of them at $99, and hey, was into them. I think our sweaters are like $6 or $6.50 at our Goodwill. This is a Derrick Rose. I found 2 pairs of overalls. 2 pair of pajama sets at our Goodwill. They were like $10, and they sold pretty quickly. The next month at that estate sale, we found these. I paid $2 for them. It's a set, just cotton, nothing crazy. They actually had mother of pearl buttons, really nice, 2 extra large, and just a really nice pair of pajama set. And I was kind of surprised. These sold for like right around $90 with $6 to ship. We did take a best offer on these. And I believe I sold these to somebody else. I sold one of the other sets to the month prior. And I picked these up at 2 different places. So it does show that this stuff is out there. This is the tag right here, Derrick Rose for Bergdorf Goodman. Bergdorf Goodman's like a department store, like a Saks or Nordstrom's, that kind of deal. I believe it's on the West Coast in like San Francisco. I could be wrong, but I believe it is. Made in England. Very nice set. Keep your eye out for that. If I found 3 in less than 2 months, it's out there. Here is a Nike New York Giants player issued sweatshirt, 3 extra large. Player issued was Chris Snead. He's a lineman for the Giants, or he was, I should say. I found it, I seen it, and I was thinking originally, I was like, I could use a sweatshirt. It's getting winter time. I seen the 76, and I was kind of like, interesting, but I didn't really pay too much attention to it right off the bat. Then going through, I seen here 76, New York, looks like a ticket, and then somewhere else it had CS on it, and I was like, this is interesting. What is this? And then doing some research, I figured out 76 was Chris Snead, and it makes sense. He's an offensive lineman. You can see right here, Chris Snead was a guard for the New York Giants from 2004 to 2013, 2-time Pro Bowl champion, or two-time Super Bowl champion, four-time Pro Bowler, first team All-Pro, and a second team All-Pro. So, pretty popular player, pretty good player there for a little while. I mean, so sold that. That sold for a little bit less. So that sold for like $110 plus time to ship, and I had that listed probably for 4 or 5 months, and I paid I think $10 for it. Here is a Dolce and Gabbana. This was just a weird combination of raccoon, wool, and silk blend suit skirt set. It was really weird. It was just odd. Raccoon, like, I think we all know what raccoon is. It was just kind of ugly, to tell you the truth. This is like old lady-ish, I think. Silk, wool, and can't really make up the raccoon part because the tag wants to roll up. Made in Italy. Some more tags. Just a weird combination. I had this for a while. I picked this up when Gretchen was away in the Dominican Republic. So we're going back into like the spring. So this probably took 8-9 months to sell. And I think I paid $15 for this, so it wasn't cheap, but it wasn't that much either. $15 is not really all that bad. And this sold, I believe, for about $120 plus 11 to ship. I don't really like picking up women's clothing all that much, but every once in a while, I'll see it on like a new rack that comes out, and I just can't pass it by. This is a garment bag. We picked up the Brioni one. We actually picked up 2 garment bags by this brand. There was a shorter garment bag for like a pair of sneakers. I sold those for like 60-ish, and then I sold this one for $139.99. So 25 cents into 140 is when you go by the percentage. There's nothing better than that percentage. This was a long garment bag. It was like this really nice cotton, like a water resistant, and this was all suede here. All these things right there. If you look at the brand Zilly, this is a really high-end brand. I've never found this brand. I know about the brand. I've just never found it. So when I seen the bags, I knew there had to be some value in them. Like I said, when the lady said 25 cents or give me $1 for the 4 bags, I was all over it. So look for garment bags of certain brands, especially higher end clothing. And look for this brand in jackets. I think they make shoes. They might even make men's Zilly, Zilli. Look for that. Good brand. Like I said, 25 cents into 140. Gotta love it. This is a vintage Polo Sport Ralph Lauren reversible jacket. We've found these jackets probably the 3rd or 4th time we've come across this jacket. Seem to come across it about once a year. It's a reversible one. It's really nice, really pretty cool. And they have the tag on the inside of the pocket. There's the one side. There's the other side. Polo Sport Ralph Lauren. It's probably 90s. Little cookies, as they call them, patches on the sleeves. Polo spelled out on the back of the blue one. There's the tag right there, Polo Sport Ralph Lauren. Those little orange silver dots. Actually, we used to sell these at the outlets, Ralph Lauren outlets. That's how they used to tell the difference. But got $140 for it. I picked this up over the summer, so it sat a little while. Sat 4 or 5 months, but it went off to Canada, and somebody's happy. But I usually wait out and get about 125 to 150 on these. Right here was something out of my own personal collection. Was I was going through stuff for the auction show, I kind of came across some stuff in my storage unit. Needed to make some space in there. Unfortunately, Chad picked up a lot of my stuff. I think he's like a big fan of mine. Guy's crazy. He's like a stalker, golden finger picker guy. But he picked up a lot of stuff of mine, and this was one thing. And I just figured that there wouldn't be the market for it on YouTube. Most people wouldn't probably understand what it is. It was a license plate topper. And this is probably from the 40s or 50s. This would have screwed onto your license plate. Some of these can go for crazy money. I've seen some, not this mobile one, but other ones sell upwards of $1,000. Gasoline brands, just all kinds of things would be put on people's license plates back then. It was a way to kind of separate yourself from other drivers. I had this for a little while. I was probably into this for about 40, $50. There's a lot of reproductions of these, so pretty interesting. I know when I see these in person which ones are reproductions, which ones aren't. But to explain it, it's kind of hard to explain. And I'll probably try to explain. I'll go through a lot of stuff. We're going to talk a little bit more about uh, advertising and stuff on this channel in the future, and talking about shipping signs and stuff like that. And you know, have some fun with that. I know it might not have the, I might not be able to talk to the hugest market, but when it comes to selling and buying signs, I've been doing it for a while now and collecting them. And there's a lot of fakes on eBay, and I think we need to make a lot of people known. A lot of people are probably getting ripped off. Here's a this is a suit jacket right here. Suit jacket. Wife picked this up at that estate sale. This is Gina Versace. This is black and silver. Had these silver buttons. It was a bigger size 48 regular. I don't know if I would have picked this up because I really have this thing to stay away from suit jackets if they don't have the pants. But this was a little bit unique and different because of the coloring, the black and the silver, and the silver buttons. Kind of, it gives it more maybe of a blazer. Like you could carry this off maybe um, in a different set. You can see right here, 48, 58 regular. This is actually a European size. It's actually take 10 off and you have the American size, which is 48. This is actually made by Zegna, Melville Gildo Zegna. Made a lot of suits for Versace, Tom Ford, Gucci, Yves Saint Laurent. And they all have something in common if you ever notice. Tom Ford used to run Gucci and Yves Saint Laurent. So, and then before he started his own flagship brand. And there's a few other brands that Gucci, Zegna will make their line, will actually make their suits, and you'll see by the tag here. This is your classic Zegna tag, probably from 2003 to, I would say, early 2013, 2014. This is their tag. They had this for about 10 years. And you can see right down here on the bottom, it says suit. Sometimes it'll say jacket. That's how you kind of know the difference with a Zegna one, if it's a jacket or a suit. But heavy silver buttons too. See if we can see those. Da, 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 da. Silver buttons. So you could maybe carry this off a little bit differently, but it was definitely part of a suit. Maybe you can carry it off as a sport coat. And that's sold for about $125, I believe. 10 shipped. I was into that for about $4. This is a Luciano Barbera. This is a two-piece men's suit. Comes with the trousers. I mean, it's a little bit older of a suit. This is probably 90s, early 2000s, maybe. Luciano Barbera, but really classic suit. People like certain suits. We'll say, oh, two buttons are in, flat fronts in, pants, but that might be in with the working normal crowd. You get to those people that are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, they're so used to wearing a a 3-button jacket or maybe a double-breasted jacket. That's what they like. They're not going to change because Tom, Dick, and Harry are wearing these more slim-fitting suits. It's not them. They want to wear something that's comfortable, something they know, and it's great construction. This company's been around, and they're going to be around. You know, Really nice. I had the working cuffs. Here's the button right here. I mean, the tag right here, Luciano Rivera. These were made. Lewis of Boston was a men's store in Boston. It actually closed down, I believe, last year, or it could have been the end of 2016. But they did close down. I know they had a big flagship store, and then they moved to a wharf in Boston to be more to the hipper crowd. And they used to sell brands like Chiton, Brioni. You'd see so many different brands, especially if you're here from um, New England area. You'll see a lot of Lewis and Boston stuff going through the thrift stores, all different kind of brand. This was the store to go to, definitely in the 80s and 90s. So really nice. Had the working cuffs. Really nice suit. Paid $15 for it, and this sold fairly quickly, probably about 2 weeks. And it was even missing both of the buttons on the rear pockets. But that's like a minor thing. People will replace those. Some people don't even like them. I don't like buttons in the back of my pockets because you actually sit down on a seat. They actually dig into your butt. They're they're not really the most comfortable things in the world. It was probably a terrible mistake. Last year during a picking trip about a year ago, it was before Christmas, so at this point it would have been 11 months, right around. We went to the barber store in New Hampshire, oh no, Maine, on our picking trip. We went up to like Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont. We were in upstate New York before seeing my parents for Christmas. It was probably 5 or 6 days. And we were at the barber store, and they had a sale like buy two sweaters for $100. I can get a third one free. It was this crazy deal. So they come out to like $33 each. So I bought three of them. I actually was gonna buy more, and Gretchen kind of was like, "Yo, slow your roll, homie." So I kind of picked up the larger size ones. I think two of the other sweaters I have are two extra large. And really weird, they sat. And I've sold used ones for $150. So it was really crazy that I can't move these new ones for whatever reason. But here's a barber one right here. It was knitted and had like these jacket arms. It was like a sweater jacket. Like I said, I was into these for about $33. Barber, you can see right there, they actually blacken the O, so you can't return this to like a regular store or try to return it with their mail order stuff. Barber is actually owned by Orbis. Really nice jacket though. It was retail 250. I kind of went after anything up to 250, and was pretty kind of shitty buy. So I mean, I'm in the profit already. I got two more to sell. I mean, they'll sell when they sell, and I'll be happy, I guess. But it's not the greatest buy. We could say that one. That was a little long tailish. Here was a ship lantern. Once again, another thing I found in my storage unit. We have so much stuff in there. It was kind of at one time we were going to do a antique booth by us, but the price that they wanted, and it just doesn't get the traffic. So I kind of just went against it. So I have all this stuff. We're actually going to list it up over time on a second eBay account, kind of keep the more antique stuff and the signs and stuff like that separated from our clothing. Just something to do. But this is a lantern, ship lantern or whatever. This is added on here. Someone used it at their house, and 1910 brass. We had this. I picked this up at a state sale at a half off day. I think I paid 20 or $25 for it. Really liked it. Gretchen wanted to keep it for some reason or another. There's the cord. They actually used this in that house. The glass had a few minor chips, nothing crazy or anything like that. And this sold for $200. I actually remember this sold on a Sunday, November 19th. We were in Orlando, and it was actually like a $900 day. It was like crazy. It was like things are selling, and I was like, oh, it's nice to be on vacation when you're selling things and you look at you don't have to ship anything for another week and a half or so. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, that sold. So $200. This was a suit I picked up, and we'll go into this a little bit. We'll talk about little details on this. This is a Giorgio Armani suit, but once again, we picked this up at a estate sale. We're into it for about $5 or so, somewhere around there. I forgot what each piece was. This is an older suit. These don't really sell that well, but because it's a three-piece suit, we're able to get more money for it. Three-piece suits actually sell really well if you have a decent brand behind it, and Giorgio Armani is a good brand. You rarely come across three-piece suits. And this is an older suit. Once again, 3 buttons, no flap pockets. This is typical 90s, what do you call it, Giorgio Armani. You can see by the tag here, this is 90s all day long, Giorgio Armani. They got it at Saks Fifth Avenue, their tag. Tag looks actually pretty clean. You can tell this hasn't been used too much because these tags will get ratted. But really weird. His sizing went everywhere from a 42. This measured more like a 44 though. That's why I do have it there. But his suits went from like a 42 to like a 50. It was really crazy odd. He must have put on weight over time, I guess, because the newer stuff was the bigger size stuff. So, but I wound up picking up 3 Giorgio Armani suits. Gretchen found one of them. I found 2 of them when we went back. And they had so many suits stuffed in a closet. I've never seen somebody. They must have had 60, 75 suits. I mean, it was really hard to even try to see what some of it was and to see if there was issues. There was a few things we threw out because they had moth holes or condition issues that we didn't see when we picked them up. And then we sold this one right here. This sold right around the same price as the other one, around $250-ish. And same thing, Giorgio Armani suit, 3-piece, but you'll see once again, it's a double-breasted, this is an older style suit. People just don't really wear this suit all that as much. And especially a 3-piece one, it kind of makes it a little bit unique and different. This one actually woolen nylon, the typical 90s Versace, you know, put the nylon in there to kind of stretch, kind of lengthen the length that you could wear the jacket. You get more years out of it. No different than being, you know, kind of helps it out. But these are older, but I couldn't probably get $100 for these if they were just 2-piece suits. But because of that 3-piece, because of that vest, I was able to get more money. Crazy. But that's what it is. I'm back here on the screen, and that's our sales for November. I'm gonna come up with you sales for December. We actually had our best clothing sale ever in November, and we'll talk about that a little bit next month. But you're gonna be seeing more of us here on the channel, and more videos coming out. Gonna have specific videos due every day. We're gonna try to put a little more emphasis into the YouTube channel just because it's fun. I love it. Gretchen wants to be more part of it, and just fun. We were away for a while, and you know what? I really missed it. You know, there was almost a time where I thought I was gonna disappear from YouTube, but I'm back, and we're gonna have fun. After you've been doing this for a while, you kind of got to change things up from time to time to keep it more interesting. And we're at that part, and we're gonna change some things up. But see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe, and if I don't see you, have a happy new year. See ya. Have a good day.